guys, this is Royce. You never formally met Royce, but I got a dog. I got a dog last year after my first attempt on my own life because I thought I needed some companionship, and I thought a dog would give me some much needed responsibility, like a reason to get out of bed, something to take care for, other than myself, which I had not been doing. You want it? Say hi, baby. Want it? There. Privacy. You guys, this morning, I plan to upload this today. Normally you guys don't get my videos, sometimes like a week or several weeks until they've passed, because like working full time, trying to do this channel and like dealing with the things I'm dealing with my mental health can be tough. But I started dating this guy, and initially, like, he told me he was a Christian, and I do believe he believes in Jesus, but long story short, we're not equally yoked because we're not compatible. I feel like a lot of people think that unequally yoked means they just don't believe. I think you can still yoke yourself with someone who is not compatible with you, and in that way you're not yoked together equally. But I didn't realize this, but I'm very lonely. Like this morning I woke up and I was just like, you know what? Even though I know this is not the best relationship for me, and even though I do not want to have sex with him, and honestly, I'm really not interested in breaking my celibacy the way I initially thought, I still can't let go. And I prayed about it, and I've asked God to help me to do it because I can't do it. I tried, and for a couple hours, like, you know, like the relationship was over. But then I called him, and then I started freaking out because I was like, shit, I didn't mean to do that. And then I hung up like 2 rings in, and then he immediately called me back, and I was like, oh my gosh, but it's just like I can't let go because right now I'm very lonely, like, and I'm already very attached to him because even though we have not had sex, we've already done some things, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't. I want to do a video on sexual immorality because I was doing some studying on it, and I no longer have the same belief that I did. But that doesn't mean I believe you should just be having sex with anybody before you get married. I don't believe that. I believe that there's a reason God said, wait until you meet your person, because it's harder to think clearly and it's harder to stop something with someone once you've started if that's not your person. And now I'm in a situation where this is not my person, and we've been intimate, and every time we meet up we touch each other because it's been 3 years for me. He's a man, like, and so it's just been tough. And I woke up this morning feeling very depressed about it, and feeling like, well, first of all, I feel like it's my fault because obviously I didn't have to go run and do that. But bipolar disorder has a way of making you do things you would not normally do because the brain does not give you a moment to pause and reflect the way you normally would. And that's a whole thing in itself, learning the difference between mania and depression. Because people who have depression, they don't experience mania. Mania is like a high period of excess emotions, excess hormones, excess decision making, things you normally wouldn't do, confidence you normally wouldn't have. And it sounds fine until you're doing things that are dangerous for your health. Like me, dating a man that's like not for me. And my thoughts immediately just went to like, I wish I didn't have to be here, because then I wouldn't have to deal with like the weight of these decisions I make. I wouldn't have to struggle. I wouldn't have to go to my job that burns me out. You guys, my job burns me out so bad. And sometimes I question and I wonder, what job won't? You know what I'm saying? Like, work is work, but like, where can I work right now that's not gonna leave me so depleted that I have nothing when I come home? Most days I still kind of struggle because I just have nothing to give to my dog, to myself when I come home. And it's hard because it's like this relationship, I feel like, is the only thing that gives to me right now, even if it's not the best one. It's really hard, you guys. It's hard. And like, I listen to people preach about counterfeit comfort and how it's not good for you, but I don't feel like most people understand when we start reaching for these things that are counterfeit, it's because the real comfort takes too long to come. It doesn't touch you where you need to be touched as far as like heart goes. Like, sometimes waiting on God's comfort is just knowing He's there. It's not even always a tangible presence. And so it can get really lonely and it can get really exhausting just waiting. And in the waiting, sometimes it just feels like dying. Seriously, it just feels like dying. And it's like, I don't know if I can let go, because how long am I going to be alone again? Like, I've been alone for years, not just 3 years, but like I've been alone for years. Like, when is someone going to step in and help me carry everything I'm carrying right now? And like, I know God is carrying it with me, or He's carrying me through it, but like, it just seems like so much weight is still on me, so much pain and burden. It is just crushing. It's like what Paul said, it's crushing to despair. I should be getting ready for work right now. I really should be. I should be like putting on my hair, putting on my makeup, walking my dog. I have things to do, but like, I don't know how I get out that door today. I just don't know how I get out the door today. I don't know. Oh my God. You want to know how I know I'm not equally yoked with this man? I told him I was depressed, and he was like, eat more eggs. Stop manifesting that. And I was like, bro, do you think people with depression like manifesting depression? I don't even believe in manifestation. Not in the way that the world describes it. Honestly, not even in the way that Christians talk about manifesting. Like, I ain't gonna get into that though, but I was like, I'm not manifesting it. And I don't need to power. Like, he started talking about all the things I've dealt with, just minus the religious side. And I was like, hey, let me tell you something. I've tried praying through it. I've tried fasting through it. I've tried doing holistic things through it. I have tried damn near everything. The only thing that helps is therapy and medication, contrary to popular belief. So no, I don't need to do anything more than what I'm currently doing. And as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, you do not have what I need emotionally to be in a secure relationship. Therefore, I wouldn't want to have sex with you anyway, because my heart does not feel safe with you. And if your heart does not feel safe with somebody, that is a clear sign that that is not the person you should be with. It should be like in the Bible when Isaac finally met Rebecca. Hang on, I'm going to read it. This is Genesis 24, verse 62. When I first read this, I fell in love with it. It says, now Isaac had come back from a journey to Beer Lahai Roi, for he was living in the Negev. Isaac went out to meditate in the field toward the evening, and he raised his eyes and looked, and behold, camels were coming. Rebekah raised her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she dismounted from the camel. She said to the servant, who is that man walking in the field to meet us? And the servant said, he is my master. Then she took her veil and covered herself. Then the servant had told Isaac of all the things he had done. Then Isaac brought her into her mother's tent, and he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. And I think it's interesting how it says he was coming back from a very long journey. Obviously, back then, journeys were hard. They didn't have cars, they didn't have transportation. He took a long journey. He was probably tired, stressed out, hungry. He probably really needed a woman's touch coming back from that. And think about how it says he was finally comforted after his mother's death. That means he had no one to really lean on and rely on and to soothe him after losing probably the only woman in his life. But he got that comfort with Rebekah. Like his heart, his mind, his spirit. He finally was comforted. We don't know how long Isaac had been praying or waiting for a woman. We don't know. But That's my point. Ugh. That's my point. I don't know how long I'll be waiting. But when I meet him, I would like him to bring comfort and peace and love and cherishment to my heart and to my mind and to my soul, because I feel like I'm being beat down by every care and every affliction the world has to offer right now. It's not necessarily the truth. That's just how it seems sometimes. And I need, I want that. And whether I let go of this guy or not, I'll get it eventually. It's just like, in what shape do I want this man to find me? And so if you're struggling with like that, depression, relationships you shouldn't be in, bad coping mechanisms, I've been struggling with that too. I get it. And I don't have any correction for you other than to just say, I get it. But despite all of that, God has been abundantly kind. He has not given up on me. He has not forsaken me. A lot of people, someone said something crazy to me in some of my comments, so I deleted them because I was like, I'm not about to do this. But despite everything I have said, he has not once gotten mad at me or told me I need to be more respectful. He has let me vent my frustrations. He has let me do what Job has done. He has let me do the things that the psalmists do. And so when people try to confine you and tell you how you should live your life or how you should seek God's faith, or ignore them. Ignore them. Okay? If you don't feel the weight of God's glory behind the words that they're speaking, ignore them. I've had to learn the difference when God is speaking to me through someone versus when someone is speaking to me when they think God is speaking to them, but really they're just speaking through their own knowledge. And knowledge either edifies or puffs up. So if it's not bringing you towards love of the Father, if it's pissing you off, it's puffing you up. So now I'm going to try to get ready for work. I don't know what time it is. I'm going to try to get ready for work. Maybe my boss will let me leave early today because, man. And I still got to take my doggy out. This is my baby. This is my baby. There were days I was like sobbing, crying so hard because I just did not want to be here. And I felt like it would be easier if I was just not created, because then I wouldn't have to deal with all these things. And this dog started crying with me. This is my emotional support animal. I don't care what anybody says. I love him. He's just as emotional as I am. Oh, this is my baby. This is my baby. This is my baby. You guys, I'm going to drop in the description box a link for this video I watched a couple months ago when I got out the mental hospital. It's about suicide and like God's plans and things like that. I'm not always in the right space to watch it, but I'm going to drop it down because it's really good. And if anybody is struggling with that, I want you to see it too. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for listening and watching my faith rant. She's ready. Tears gone. Makeup on. You guys like my claw clip? Hang on. Likey? I'm sorry. There's something about a claw look that I love, even though this one is kind of like messed up. Whatever. I only have to worry about how it looks in the front. And in the front, it looks good. Okay, so I tried to do like this little flippy thing with I had layers at one point and now they're like pretty long, they're growing out, but I still like to try to style them. And I used my Chi airbrush. I don't really like it. I prefer to just use my blowout brush and my blow dryer if I'm going for flippy, swoopy layers in the front, but I feel like it and my makeup turned out pretty good despite the fact that like 10 minutes ago I was sobbing about not wanting to be born because I felt like my life was hard and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Make that make sense. But I have hope still. My life's not always going to have to be this way. I really do. A lot of that hope I think comes from God. At one point in time I didn't want hope, and sometimes hoping hurts because it leaves the door open for more disappointment. And I think we talked about that in a previous video that I deleted because I'm bipolar and I can't make up my mind. But I'm not joking when I say that, you guys. Like, I actually got diagnosed with bipolar disorder too. I'm on mood stabilizers. And because the depression side swings really hard, I'm also on an antidepressant now. So I'm not glorifying mental illness or just saying, oh, I'm bipolar, I can't make up my mind. No, I'm genuinely bipolar. One day I do one thing, the next day I do the opposite, because it's hard for me to stay grounded and to catch my mood swings. Which makes a lot of sense in my life. It makes a lot of sense. But I have hope now. And when I couldn't hold on to hope, God didn't shove it down my throat. He didn't tell me to have more faith. He didn't tell me to trust him. He didn't say any of that. He just said nothing, to be honest with you, which was the infuriating part. He said nothing. He just kind of held hope for me, I think, because I think that he is the God of hope. And when you don't have it, he just does. And I definitely feel like my life will not always be like this. I don't believe I'm going to always struggle as hard as I'm struggling right now. It's just right now has been a long time, and it feels like forever. I might have to go try to restyle this side because it's not as swoopy as this side. Or, y'all, it's Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no ninja, and no ninja ain't got me. Yes, I've been listening to Glorilla. I love her. I'm sorry. So yeah, I guess that ends today's mini vlog, my little sit down confession. I hope you guys are having a good week and you're doing okay. And if you're not doing okay, some days neither am I, but my therapist told me the thing about really hard days is that you never have to repeat that particular day again. And I'm like, well, what about the rest of all the other hard days? And then Jesus is like, didn't I tell you to worry about today and not tomorrow? And it's just like, okay, if you say so, if you both say so, I guess I have no choice but to listen. But yeah, y'all have a good day out there. Stay safe in these streets. You guys, everything that I was saying this morning about how I'm exhausted and the burden and the weight of the world is just too heavy on me, my coworker literally was saying the exact same thing. And I had to encourage her and tell her, listen, there's a season for everything. Everything. It's time to laugh, time to cry. Okay? It's time to pray, it's time to rage. Everything. Your last season, that passed. You will not be in this place forever. You won't be. And I had to remind her about all the stuff she had already been through and how she's brought through most of that, and how sometimes, unfortunately, we just don't get the shift we need in unison. It's in small places, but they're coming. And it was nice to be able to encourage someone else. I get so tired of having to encourage myself. I'm happy to encourage other people. I'd be like, but me? I'm tired. I don't want to encourage myself no more.